welcome back to my channel. My name is Shirley Howard and I'm a fashion reseller on Poshmark, eBay, Etsy, and Facebook Marketplace. So if you're interested in any of those platforms, hit that subscribe button below to be notified when new videos are released. Today's video, I'm going to walk you through the Poshmark website. There's a lot of features on Poshmark that probably could be useful to you if you knew that they existed. So I don't think Posh does a great job of telling us where these things are, what they might do for us. Sometimes we happen upon them by accident. Sometimes I'll see it in a Facebook group, and sometimes it just shows up and I wonder where the heck it came from. So I'm going to share my screen with you today and show you what I use on Poshmark that is helpful on a pretty much daily basis. Here we are in my closet. We can see at the top there's some things that were recently shared from my closet, and I listed a few things this morning. You'll see them listed there as well. So what's important to note here about Poshmark is that it has a ton of information. We just need to know where to access it. And I really want to walk through the features that help me as a seller. So if you go over here underneath your name, or your might have a logo there, and we go under My Sales, I'm going to go through some of these titles over here that I find useful. So right away under My Sales, these are some things that have just sold for me. So I've not done anything with them, but there they are. I need to print labels and ship these out to customers. Now, when you sell something on Poshmark, it sends you an email to the email that you have associated with Poshmark and individually sends you a packing slip for these items. Here, you can do it all at the same time. If you click on Actions, Download Shipping Labels, I can pick these items. Click Download. An email has just been sent to the email associated with my Poshmark account. All 4 of these packing labels are going to be in one email that I can print one time, and all 4 labels are going to show up on my printer. I don't have to go individually into each item and print, or to my email and individually open an email and print. All done here. The other feature that's really super important here is under Actions again, Mark as Shipped. So for those of you that have shipped orders on Poshmark, individually you go, item was picked, packed, shipped, yay, I shipped it. Here you can click on all the items that have been shipped, and again, in one button, mark them all as shipped. So a bit of a time saver if you know that that actually exists. If you wanted to know what was shipped, you could turn this to, oh, I guess you can't. It only shows you not shipped. One other thing here that I find is very useful is active offers. So this is some activity that I did this morning, and I went into some offers to likers, and I sent out an offer on this J. Crew sweater at $25, this boots at $100, this bundle at $30, this dress at $50, etc., etc. So I can tell what I've done here in one area. My Posh Stats is something that you should have a look at. That's things that are your own business, and that would be how much money you may have sold on Poshmark, how many listings that you have on the site, what the valuation of your inventory items is. And my balance, again, gives you how much money that you have on Poshmark, and I'll let you look at those ones on your own Poshmark website. My sales report is something that I do find quite useful. This is January of 2021, and taxes are going to be done soon. So if you've sold anything online, you do need to record this as money that you've received in 2021, and it is considered part of your income. I will just say I get a lot of questions on taxes. This is my first year doing taxes with Poshmark, so I don't know how this is all going to work out for me, but I do have some work to do to find out what I paid for things, what I sold things for, and some office expenses that I can take off that list as well, which is a whole nother video that I'm not quite ready for. Maybe after taxes this year, I can share that information with you guys. I've also taken the liberty of running this report already. I click on email, it goes to that email associated with your Poshmark account, and I have already opened mine. And this is my sales activity report. So again, if you need to declare these on your taxes, here's a good way of finding the information. It's an Excel spreadsheet. You can edit this a dozen different ways, sort it, filter it, whatever's interesting to you. I will note that it will tell you when you listed an item, and this over here is kind of where it's important, where it says net earnings. So this tells you what you've actually made on the items, and you can total this at the very bottom to get that number for what you sold last year to declare that on your taxes. You may want to look under here and find out what categories you're actually selling the most of, what brands you're selling the most of. And again, you can sort this Excel spreadsheet a dozen ways to Sunday. The other thing that's also on here is my inventory report, which is the same idea. Click on email and it'll send you a link to another Excel spreadsheet. And this one I've taken the liberty of already doing before this video. And it's telling me what I actually have listed on Poshmark. Again, I can look in men's, women's, children's, or host goods if you have those. When I posted things on Poshmark, so I can see what's been on there for a really, really long time. Quite quickly, what the lowest price it was listed for, and what my current listing price is for these items. So if you're looking to do an inventory valuation for your last year's taxes, you can find that information here as well. One thing I do note about my own inventory is that I don't always declare a value on an item when I put a selling price in. That messes up the reports a little bit, but I don't always know what the price was of a retail price. And I was doing some experimenting to see if it actually made a difference, whether you had a price in there of 0 or if you listed an actual listing price, if it actually helped your sales in any way. I didn't find that it actually helped my sales in any way. So sometimes I leave it blank, sometimes I fill it in. It doesn't really seem to matter for my sales. And those are some really interesting things that you need to know exist there as somebody on Poshmark. Now, if we go under here, under account settings, we can also find out some more information. So this is where you would have created your profile, and you can always change these things as you go along. And I want to show you vacation hold. So if you're not selling on Poshmark 24/7, 365, I hope you're not, you can put your Poshmark closet on hold. So maybe you're going on vacation for a week or two, or maybe you're just not going to sell on Poshmark for a month or so in the summertime. Maybe you're going on a Christmas holidays and you're not going to be around. You can turn your closet off basically. So if I was going to be away next week, I can turn my closet off so that, well, it's a little bit more than a week, but for the next month, I can turn my closet off, which means that nobody can buy anything from my closet. So if you're not going to be around, you don't want people making offers that you're not going to address or waiting for product to be shipped that you're not going to know is shipped. Just turn your closet off, but don't forget when you come back to turn your closet back on. So we're going to take vacation hold off. There's no penalty for being on vacation hold. And I did try this a bit in the summer too. And when I came back from vacation, it did take a bit of time, like maybe a day for my closet to go, oh yeah, you're back, and sales to start happening again. But then I turned it off at Christmas time, and there was an immediate back into activity, so it didn't have an impact. But just so you don't have people waiting for items to be shipped that you don't know exist as orders out there, you can put your closet on hold. This one here, my seller discounts. Now, for me, the majority of my sales come from offers to likers. So I don't use my seller discounts, but if you choose to, this is where it exists. And you can offer buyers a discount based on how many items they purchased. And you can pick any of these. Because I use offers to likers, which I'll go and show you later in this video, if I leave this on, say 3 items at 15%, if a buyer comes through and buys or puts 3 items in their bundle, they automatically are allocated this discount. If I want to send an offer to likers, I have to add another discount on top. So I don't want to do that. So I leave mine off. And you'll see in people's closets that they say bundle and save. I did that when I started Poshmark as well. Again, I don't find for me that that has any impact on my sales because offers to likers is such an effective tool for me. But if it's a discount you're willing to offer, this is the way you'd actually set it up in your Poshmark closet. Shipping labels was something that I find very valuable, and this is a fairly new thing that Poshmark has offered. So I print all my labels on standard 8.5 by 11 paper just on my computer printer, and I have packing slip on. What this means is that when my label prints with the customer's address, it also prints what items they purchased. If anybody has made a mistake and mixed up customer orders and sent the wrong item to the wrong person because they're getting multiple orders together at once, this is a very valuable tool. Quite often, the majority of the time, I'm packing more than one order. So the customer's name and that little attached piece saying what they bought is very valuable to me to make sure I'm putting the right item in the right bag. I've heard other people say they didn't know how this was going to be valuable. This is how I find it to be value, and I use it for every single order because I have made a mistake and I have crossed orders before. It's just too many things going on at the same time. So this one little button might save you that bit of a headache. And Reposh is way over here. Now, you might be saying, why would I use Reposh? You may have purchased something on Poshmark. When you received it, let's just say it may not have fitted like you had intended it to fit. Too big, too small, and you might decide, I can't use it, so I'm just going to resell that item. There's some conflicting opinions on whether you can use someone else's pictures to reposh. I personally do not care if someone uses my photos to reposh an item they bought from me. Part of Poshmark's selling feature to people is that you use something for a while and then you come here and you can sell it. So let's just say I bought a Michael Kors purse. I decided to use it for 6 months. Then I wanted to put it on Poshmark and maybe buy another one. I do not want to go through and take pictures and things again. I want to use the ones that I used when I bought it because it was an effective picture because I made the purchase. And I'm going to take you over here too, under my tile again, under my purchases. So you can see here that Reposh automatically shows up. If I had decided that I had bought this jumpsuit and I wore it for an occasion and then I wanted to sell it, I could come here and Reposh. It pre-populates with the pictures that were there when I purchased it. The description needs to be filled in. It automatically says that you're reposhing it from the person that you bought it from. I would recommend you filling in more information. Category, of course, you're going to fill in some selling prices here, and then you can list that item for sale. So it's a time saver in case you're trying to sell items that may have not been appropriate for you and you just want to put them back on the platform. So it's a way of saving some times. Now, one other thing that I learned that was quite helpful, and I learned this from another Canadian Pasha, Rainbow Poops. Under my sales, let's just say that this dress here that has been sold, the buyer purchased it, and for some reason, they wanted to return it to me And Poshmark said, yes, you can return it. It wasn't as described. I can take this item, even though it says sold. You can see it says this item is sold. If I scroll to the bottom, oops, if I scroll to the top, I can click edit listing, copy. Give it a moment. And here it is again. And I can simply go through that process again. Remember, take copy out of the description. Be careful because it takes off, takes a little bit of your space. Don't forget to fill that back in. And then again, you can go back through the process of selling this item again without having to go through the process of taking pictures over again. So there have been situations where a customer has bought maybe 2 items from me, and let's just say one item had a stain on it that I didn't notice was there, and they wanted to return the order. Poshmark does not allow you to return part of an order, so both items would have come back to me. I could deal with the item that had a stain and see if I can fix it, but this item was fine, so I simply copy and I can relist this item. So it does have a use that I find on Poshmark. It used to have a better use for being able to refresh your listings and make them new again, but that copy paste feature here does not work for that anymore. At the top of this list as well, you can see where it says drafts. Now, anyone that's watched my videos knows that I take a lot of my pictures on the weekend, and then I release about 5 pictures a day. So I'm active on Poshmark, and I don't have to be doing this every single night after work, getting orders ready to be pictures ready to put online. So I put them in my draft status. Now, it's not intuitive as to find where you put your item for, no, it was still an item. So the item I just worked on, you can see landed in draft status. So it's ready. So if we want to go back in to look at some of the drafts you may have created earlier this week, you can, so if you have created all your orders on the weekend and you just want to go in and edit them every day, you come under your name tile again and click on My Drafts. And these are all the items that are in draft status that are not saleable at this point. This is the item I just looked at that was sold that I put in a draft status. I can click on these items. I go through the process. Again, this is one I need to take a copy out of because I didn't save this particular item. And then I would scroll through to the bottom and again, follow on that listing process. Now, if I had come into this listing and I wasn't ready to put it on sale yet, because let's just say I wanted to have a chance, I didn't put measurements in here. I'm like, okay, I want to go back and do some measurements. I want to keep it in draft status. But this is a very strange thing on Poshmark. When you're done a listing, you have the options of either canceling or updating. If I hit update, it makes the changes that I've just put in here. If I hit cancel, it saves it to draft. Now, I don't know who thought this was a good idea, because to me, cancel means it would delete everything I've already done. But no, in this case, cancel means save to draft. And it goes into draft status. So very bizarre way to do it, but you have to hit cancel in order for something to be in your save draft. And if we go on sell on Poshmark, we can start a brand new listing. And I'm just going to pull some stuff up here just to show you some other stuff that's on here. Let's go under pictures. So I'm just going to pick one picture because I do most of my listings from my phone. Here I have a jacket. It's a Betsy Johnson jacket. But what's interesting is underneath here, Posh gives you some options for editing your picture. I personally do not use any of these filters, and people that have been on Poshmark longer say the filters were even worse before, but I don't find any of these helpful. I use the original picture because if you look here on mine, it says Photo Room. I put all of my pictures through the Photo Room app, which is completely free. And you can see this picture is completely white in the background. And the beauty of Photo Room is this is a white jacket on a white background. And this Photo Room app magically goes through. It doesn't erase the jacket, but makes the background nice and white. So I can say apply, and I'm going to put this on here. And I can type in my jacket. I'm going to put in all the information here, which I won't do because it'll take too long. Oops. And then I would put in my description, my categories, my size. And if I wasn't ready, this is where I'd also click on cancel, and it would save it to my draft so I can come back and add those details. So sometimes I'll take a bunch of pictures and I'll put them all in draft and then go back and I'll add in the descriptions. The reason I put all the pictures in draft is because my phone gets blocked up with a lot of pictures and then you end up scrolling through it to find them every time. So I put them in draft and I delete them off my phone. Those are some things that I use on Poshmark on a daily basis. Now, one of the things I don't like about Poshmark is they don't give us a lot of other details. And I'm just going to flip over here and I'm going to show, I do have an Etsy account. Sign in. Now, one thing that Poshmark does not do, which is kind of crazy, the fact that we have to share and do all those things is kind of crazy anyway, but you do not have the opportunity to promote your items on Poshmark. I also sell on Etsy, this is my account. I do not do very much on Etsy, so it's not going to show any activity here. But even though I'm not doing anything on Poshmark, on Etsy, I have sold, I think, 3 of the 6 listings that I had on here. But if I go over here, look at this. Statistics. Now, given if I had something on here to sell, it's going to tell me what my selling is like. It's going to tell me how people found me, how many times the person looked at my listings, how many people looked at my listings. So you can favorite an item in Etsy, which is a weird way of saying that, but I know how many people came to see it. On eBay, I can see how many people looked at my item. If no one's looking at it, then I need to make a change. Over here on marketing, look, I can do a sale, coupons, campaigns, targeted. The opportunity to be able to do something like that on Poshmark would be amazing, amazing. And I can do this on eBay as well. So I run sales in my eBay store. I haven't on Etsy because I don't do a whole lot on there. But Poshmark does not give us this opportunity to make sales through a marketing campaign. Poshmark, I'm also limited to Poshmark.ca, so I only sell on Poshmark Canada. On eBay and Etsy, anybody can buy my stuff. They don't have to be from Canada. So that's another limitation of Poshmark. I wish it was Poshmark North America, and I have heard rumblings that someday that's going to happen, but that day is not today. So if you're on Poshmark Canada and you want to sell on Poshmark USA, you can do it. You have to have a US address and a US bank account and have a third-party carrier that can get your items to USPS, because you're going to get your labels on Poshmark.com as a USPS, or United States Postal Service label. So you need to have a service that will accept those labels from Canada and take them over the border for you. I did do this for a while, but I don't have access to a carrier that does that third-party USPS. So I can't do that here anymore. So that's why I moved to eBay.com. Now, I wish that Poshmark would actually stop the sharing. Just stop the sharing. It takes up so much of your time to share items. Yes, it's a social platform, and yes, that's how it's built. And yes, I understood that coming in. But wow, you get a lot of listings on here, and sharing takes up a lot of time. You can hire a virtual assistant to share your closet for you. And I've mentioned in a video, I do have someone that does that later in the night for me because I'm in Nova Scotia. When I'm going to bed, people in Vancouver are just getting home from work. So the time zone is a bit of against me because the more population is also at west than here in the east. So I use that service. It's quite inexpensive. So if we could get rid of the sharing, that'd be great. And what else? The last thing, I wish they just had better ways of putting things online so it was faster. So the last thing that I think that Poshmark should have is a shipping option. I hated it on eBay at first, but now I find that it actually works to my advantage because I can make some money on that shipping cost as well. But Poshmark has the option of shipping or slightly discounted shipping, or you can offer free shipping to a customer. It's just not what I need for how to be effective as a seller online. So maybe Poshmark will look at that in the future. If there's something on Poshmark that you wish they were doing, drop that in the comments below. There's probably things that you're thinking of that I haven't even thought of that would be useful to have on Poshmark. And maybe someday they will hear what we're all saying and make a change to the video on your way out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, and drop me a note in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video.